and welcome to CSRM's podcast with our global network our staff. You guys are staff from Madagascar. And we are here actually this week for CSRM's annual board meeting and retreat. And I am P.F. Myers, the International Director for CSRM. We are just really excited to have you guys here with us.
Thank you very much.
And in the previous podcast, I was with Greg, the Director of Resourcing for CSRM, and we talked a lot about what's happening internationally around the world. We talked a lot about the importance of CSRM and the role that we have in the global church sports ministry movement. And within our organization, we humbly can say that we have between 15 and 20 staff and global network partners who are indigenous leaders like yourself, and they are working to develop a church sports ministry movement in their own country. And you can go to our website and you can check out the profiles of each one of these important and special and beautiful people. But today we've got two of our staff who are larger than life. They're sitting here before me with their smiles, and so I want to introduce you to husband and wife, Injaka and Demoina, and they are from the beautiful country of Madagascar. Now, most of us from the West have generally not met anyone from Madagascar, and I have to say that I had never met anyone from Madagascar before I went to Madagascar myself and met you.
Yes.
And so I wanted you to just take a moment and introduce yourself and share a little bit about who you are and your story. So, Injaka, can we start with you?
Yes. I am a sportsman. I love sport. And in my family, my dad's family had a basketball club. And basketball became culturally in the big family, but just myself who was a progress in sport, and I finally called and signed by military sport pro athlete sport club, and I can play basketball first, soccer, handball, volleyball, swimming, rugby, and track and field. And I love sport, and I spent my life.
Yeah. Now, it's true you were on the national team, right?
Yes.
You were on the basketball team.
Yes.
For Madagascar.
Yes. And because of the love of sport, I failed in my studies, but God uses this opportunity to develop more in sport. But when I met Jesus Christ and
now, how did you meet Christ? Did you grow up in a Christian family?
I grew up in a Protestant. My mom was Protestant and my dad was Catholic.
Okay.
And my dad sent us to Catholic schools. And because I developed more in the sports, and I failed in studies, and my parents said that I have to go to the military so that the military might treat me well. And I went to the military. When I am there, I become more famous in sport and got money, and I was very proud of my performance, and I was getting more naughty than before.
Now, how old were you at this time? You were.
I was getting in the military at 19 years old.
Okay.
And when I was there, I met Colonel's daughters, and I was falling in love with this girl, and we had baby in 1991. And in 1993, I left the military because of the conflicts reason.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to the north of Madagascar
Mm.
to seek jobs. And at least we went to the seaside of the north of Madagascar, named Mbilbe. But because of the malarial disease, our daughters of 3.5 years old passed away there. And this is the why God touched my heart.
Okay. So how old were you when you accepted Christ? You were
I'm 29 years old.
29.
Yeah, when
Okay.
I accepted the Lord.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. And so it was through that trial
Yes.
that you kind of saw your need for God,
Yes.
and you realized that as a
Yes.
high level athlete with all the everything that came with it, that wasn't satisfying you.
Yes.
That none of the fame or the money
Yes.
or none of that, and so
Yes.
you came to Jesus.
Yes.
Wow, that's beautiful, beautiful
Yeah.
story. Now, before you go on, let me give Des Moines a chance to share. Tell us about your story. Did you grow up in a Christian family, and what was it like for you?
Thank you. I was raised in a non-Christian family, and we are from the northwest of Madagascar, next to Comoros.
Now, Madagascar, for you, those of you who don't know, is an island off the coast of Africa, and we'll talk
Yes.
about more about the country in a minute. But
Yes, and
Yes.
it is my village is next to Comoros, and we have many communities. So every Friday, people go to church. Saturday and Sunday, I asked my mother where are these people going, and she replied to the church. I don't have any mind or any idea what is a church, and why they go there. And she replied, to pray. I don't have any idea.
well, she didn't know.
Me, no, but she just shared as a little girl about 10. It was my first observation in the community. But at age of 17, I attended a conference about family, marriage, and during this conference, the speaker told that people perish without knowledge, and our life is upset because there is no reason of life. So only Jesus is the key of this life, and I have decided to have him as my guide and personal coach and savior at this time. And after that, because before knowing Christ, I did not accept myself as I am. I prefer to be like a man. But after this meeting with Jesus, I have understand that God has designed me as a woman, and now I help many women to be to enjoy this journey as a woman, mother, wife, and
So how old were you when you accepted Christ?
17.
17.
Yes.
Okay. And then how long ago did you guys meet, and when did you?
Love story.
Yeah.
Yes. So in 1998, I decided to go to the Bible school.
Okay.
And in 2000, I met her when I was working with Youth for Christ.
Okay.
And I was leading youth group down upstairs, and I went downstairs.
In a school.
And you saw this woman, and you said,
Yeah, and I saw a
"Whoa,
woman.
man, this is my wife." Right?
And it was very special emotions,
But
and it led us to get married in 2002.
Okay.
And
Wonderful.
now we have 3 children.
Three children. Yeah. And what are their ages and names?
Enaya, The first daughter is 16,
Okay.
and the second is Painaya, is 13, and Sarah, the boy, is 10 years. Last Saturday,
Saturday.
14 September.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, so now in Madagascar, you have a strong heritage that's Catholic,
Okay.
A history from the colonial days, but then you also have traditionalists who don't believe the ways that we believe in the West, or
Yes.
they believe in their own, what do you call it, national identity, but also in their ancestors and things like that. So what percentage of Madagascar is now Christian, would you say,
Oh, the percentage
that actually
is
are following Jesus?
Following Jesus.
the global statistics is 60% of Malagas are Christians.
Religious.
Religious, 60% are religious. They would
No,
claim
no.
to be Christian.
60% are the Christians,
Yeah.
but the 30% are Catholics.
Okay.
The 30% are including Reformed Church, Lutheran Church, the Presbyterian Church, and there's a group of Baptist Church, Charismatics.
So
and
many
Presbyterian-
denominations.
Yeah, the ones. They including Witnesses, Jehovah, Mormons,
Yeah.
are including the 30%.
Okay.
But there are two big churches in Madagascar, the older churches,
Okay.
the four major churches, the older, the Catholic, Reformed, Lutheran, and Presbyterian
Okay.
Church.
So as a whole, Madagascar is a very religious country.
Yes.
So what is the role of sports ministry in your country? Because I know you're a sportsman. You've been involved in sports ministry for some years now. So what does a relationship with CSRM bring for you? What is the benefit of this ministry that you're?
The benefit of CSRM ministries is to awake the churches to reach people for sport outreach. And as we started to train people, they understand that this is the universal language that people can understand. And this is the way church can use to easily to reach people for Christ. But unfortunately, a few local churches are using sport ministry to do
Right,
this
right.
ministry.
So that's the role that you're playing is
Yes.
helping to train them.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what is the role for women? Because you have a heart for women, you have a heart for mothers. How do you see sports ministry, your role with CSRM within the context of what you're doing, Des Moines?
First of all, I'm supporting my husband.
Yes, wonderful.
Thank you.
And
They make a great team.
even if I don't play, I mean that I'm not a professional player, I can support him with this mindset to use sport. And I see also that it is not only for the people who can play, but we can have mindset with handy sport and to recreation to help people to get healthy when they
very
were
good.
they have, for example, high blood pressure.
High blood pressure,
Mm,
yeah.
blood
High
pressure.
blood pressure, and they were very
Hypertension,
yes,
stress.
And, CSRM is a tool to help them to understand to re-educate how the church can help people through CSRM to help this kind of
To have a healthy lifestyle
Yes.
and to find enjoyment in life and have
Yes,
things to do,
yes,
and that's a
yes.
role that that
Yes.
it can play for women.
Yes.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Now, I had the privilege of being in Madagascar last year, and we did a training there, and it was a wonderful experience. And I think I told you it was probably one of the best trainings that I've ever
Wow.
done
Wow,
because
thank you.
Thank you.
because the participants were just so hungry to learn. And then on the outreach day, it was amazing to go out in the community and play sports and connect with people. And then following that, I know that they were going back to develop what we call sports missional communities among the soccer players and the basketball players and even the dancers.
Yeah.
But there are sports in Madagascar that we don't know from the West. And unfortunately, we've been misled by our movies that, you know, the island does not have penguins,
No.
you know, and so, but
No
what-
lemur, no.
no lemurs.
No lion.
Yeah, there are lemurs, but
no lion, no,
No lion,
tiger,
no giraffe.
no giraffe. Yeah.
Yes.
But what are some of the traditional sports in Madagascar that potentially are being used, you know, to reach people for the gospel?
We recently our national team, soccer national team, participated the
Yes.
Africa championship, and we could reach the quarterfinals.
Right.
And this
That was amazing.
Aleva Baria.
barrier, and this make people united.
Yes.
That unified Malagasy people, and the president, current president is.
Okay. So soccer, football
yeah.
is one. But and what are the other sports? Basketball we know is popular.
Yeah, basketball and rugby.
And rugby. Okay. And well
Traditional.
then I was there. They were talking about this traditional sport of cow wrestling, Sabu wrestling in the south, right?
Yeah.
So there was some talk among how the leaders how we could use that to reach people with the gospel.
Yes, we can train churches, local churches, to how to use this for the evangelical potential
Yes.
evangelism to that.
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And so you have 3 children.
Yes, we do.
What is the benefit for them in being involved in CSRM? Maybe you can both speak to that as far as, because I know you love your children very much. You have
Yes.
beautiful children, and unfortunately they couldn't be here with us. But what has this been for them, this involvement with CSRM?
The main fact that I love to serve with CSRM is that we can serve together as family. We can go on mission together to train the local churches all around Madagascar. And if Zach is the trainer, I am the administrator. What is your name? Here is your name tag. And
For the trainings, right?
Yes, the children are the volunteers to bring food for each participant.
Wonderful.
And I like this.
So to be able to do it as a family.
Yes,
yeah,
and
involved.
we enjoy it.
Great.
Yeah.
So our time is running short here, but as we wrap up, maybe you can tell our audience what are some of the greatest needs that you have personally, but also within your country. What are maybe 3 to 5 needs that people can either be aware of or participate in with you?
Yeah, the first of all, we need prayer so that we might stay in the ministries because of many trials, many needs. Also, we need the financial supports so that we may cover the islands in the gospel through sport.
Yeah, because you have a vision to reach the whole island with this ministry, right? So
Not yet, but we are going to plan for this. For instance, we are in 2020, we'll be going to the north for Madagascar to reach the unreached people there. And then we are going to the southeast of Madagascar, and we let's go to the south for Madagascar. We have the 3 main goals on next year, that we may ask the financial support so that we may achieve these goals.
We are also with many corporates behind us. It means that we have many about 4 or 5 couples who want to be with our partner.
So you're building your ministry
Your
team
team,
of
yes.
people who are working with you.
Yes, yes. And Zach and I, we plan to write resources about how to use the sport ministries for Madagascar. And also we have planned to translate the CSRM resources that you talk with the past podcast into Malagasy and into French, because we have a vision for French-speaking countries also.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, so for prayer, for finances, for people to come alongside, as you strategically plan to reach the country with resources, with trainings, and empower the churches.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, yeah, our time is pretty well gone, but I want to thank you guys for coming. And I should have pointed it out earlier, but actually, Des Moines, this is your first trip
Yes,
to the
it is
United States. So
it's my first trip.
it's wonderful.
Very beautiful, wonderful, as far as I can imagine.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And Jack has been here before, but it's just really a privilege
Yes.
to have you guys here, to have you as a part of the CSRM family. And we are just so encouraged by what God is doing in and through you and how He's using you. And so we hope that our listeners, our audience, will really get involved with this. Again, go to our website, click on their names, and then you can see their pictures, and you can read about the country, you can read about some of the prayer needs that they have, and you can also give financially through the CSRM website. But check them out, check out our other GMPs, because God is doing great things around the world, and it's really humbling and a privilege to be a part of it. And you guys are such an important part of it. So
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching and following along with us today. And yeah, I really want to encourage you in your own ministries to get involved as much as you can and to continue to shine as a light in the world where God has placed you. But as we can support you and help you from CSRM, please allow us to do that. And as you want to be involved with us, please do that as well. So again, I'm P.F. Myers, and we just thank you for joining us.
Thank
Have
you,
a great
Paul.
day.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Yes.
Paul.